Okay, it's Roger, Mudfossil University. Jody should be joining me in a minute. We're going to be talking a whole bunch of things. Now, one of the things we're going to be talking about is the possibility of a hollow Earth and what Robert Byrd said, and the possibility of the particle in the center of our Earth being the inner sun. And how would it get there? What is the magnetic reason for that? And how could the sun be, how could the Earth be hollow, and what is our position, and what is our spin, and how are we moving through the atmosphere of the galaxy and through our solar system? Because now they're saying the solar system has a wall around it. I understand this. I understand the whole thing, and I'm going to explain it to you. Jody will be kicking in here shortly, and then we're going to go through this whole thing. Well, actually, I'll just go through this right now. Here's what's happening. As the Earth spins, it is completely coated with magnetic particles. That's just, everything is a magnetic particle. And because it has all of this surface area that's spinning as it's moving through space, it's concussing with all of these particles, which are nothing more than light, nothing more than electrons. We're smashing into them as we cascade this way, spinning this way. We're off balance to the movement that we're headed towards. So it's not like we're going straight around in a circle. We're sort of moving in a direction and spinning in a different direction. Now, what does that do? It creates a magnetic field based on the fact that these magnetic particles are spinning within these electrons, which are the particles from the sun, from everything that's out in space. It's loaded with them. It was called the ether. Einstein ruined the whole thing. And there's another video I'm going to show you, a couple of quick clips about how they just fudged the whole thing so that Einstein could, I don't know why they did it, but they ruined physics for 100 years. We're going to straighten it out. So we're moving through these magnetic particles. They're pushing against the Earth, and that creates a magnetic field. The field spins around with the Earth. It goes up through the South Pole, and it converges into what they call a dielectric. It's in the midst between a positive and a negative. It's a no man's zone, but there's going to have to be some kind of particle activity in there that could create a glowing little sun. Because I know the particles are coming through there, and that's why there's going to be regions, I would say both north and south, certainly south, because the electrons are entering in there. I mean, pushing out of here too, they should be. But there's going to be the zone that they're talking about. A little hole in the bottom is going to happen, because if you see it in space, they spin water in space, same thing, it cavitates. And these people are apparently living inside here. That's what they say. Byrd said this. Here's what he had to say. I don't know what happened to Jody, but anyway, here's what's going on, what Byrd had to say. He said, Admiral Byrd declared today that it was imperative for the United States to initiate immediate defense measures against hostile regions. The Admiral further stated that he didn't want to frighten anyone unduly, but if it was a bitter reality, in any case of a new war, continental United States would be attacked by flying objects which could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds. Now, we all know this. People have been saying this forever. And I saw a show on this today. Science Channel is doing fabulous work on this, showing the real story and the real true meaning of everything and the hidden history that we've been denied. Now, Admiral Byrd repeated the above points of view resulting from his personal knowledge gathered both at the North and South Poles, both, before a news conference held for international news services. So he did it. He talked about this. But then they told him to shut up. So he says, we shall not long delay your mission, and you will be... This is what they told. He was taken inside. So he said he was taken aside by these people. And here's what he says. We will not long delay your mission, and you will be safely escorted back to the surface for a distance beyond. They brought him out from the center and out. And he said when he was going into the Earth, he was going through the North Pole, things were going all over instruments because he's past the North Pole and he's diving in and he's going around edges, so his instruments are going to go crazy. That's what everybody said that's been up in it. And there's been several people. It's not just him. So he said you'll be escorted safely back and a distance beyond the pole, apparently. But now, Admiral, I shall tell you why you have been summoned here. Our interest rightly begins just after your race exploded the first atomic bombs over Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan. It was at that alarming time we sent our flying machines, the Flugelads. Now, they used to call them Foo Fighters. And they sent them up to the surface, the world, to investigate what your race had done. That is, of course, past history now. It's too late for that, my dear Admiral, but I must continue on. You see, we have never interfered before in your race's wars and barbarity. Race's wars and barbarity. Man against man. But now we must. For you have learned to tamper with a certain power that is not for man, namely that of atomic energy. Our emissaries have already delivered messages to the powers of your world. They've talked to the people that are in power, and yet they do not heed. They do not heed this warning. Now you have been chosen to be witness here that our world does exist. He was there. He was a witness to it. It does exist. Now, Freedom of Information release tells of thousands of alien interactions and no human reactions of peaceful intent. You know, we should have somehow made some peaceful, some way of communicating with these people. Now, I've heard that there's a lot of people who've been going to the South Pole, maybe even the North Pole. I don't know, but I know the South Pole. I think Obama went there. That's what I've been hearing, all these things. I can't confirm any of these things, but you hear this, you don't know, but I'm telling you right now, I see the world in this manner right here. That's what I see. All right, this is it right here. Moon rings like a bell for an hour after they smacked a lander into it. And it's hollow, obviously, because it rang for an hour. And they pretty much, nobody's really disputing that strongly. And the other thing that they can't dispute is that the moon is supposedly the same density as other planets in the solar system, including our Earth. So if its density is hollow, our density is hollow. So you should go up and see this, because I go into it, in pretty good detail. And, obviously Mudfossil University and everything we've been taught is open for obvious review. Obvious needs review. All right, Mudfossil University, the new home of reality and truth. God bless you all.